All right, everybody, settle down.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Second Shout Studios Plays Scarlet Hollow. Tonight, you are joining us for the thrilling conclusion of Chapter 5. Tonight is going to get very spooky. I do have to do a little content warning before we start here. Tonight's game will include a lot of gore, body horror, and talks and mentions of suicide. If that is not something you are ready to hear about tonight, we still love you. Please join us next week for a new game. Heart emoji? Fantastic. Okay, so I know about the diverting path ahead. I made these gamers vote on whether they want to talk to Tabitha or find the witch. And they made their choice. So let's see that choice, shall we? The warmth you and Stella shared last night seems to fall apart in the fresh air, shaken by the unearthed secrets of your family's past. A tense silence holds between the two of you as your mind does its best to grapple with what you found.
What a relief that we're finally getting out of that awful place. It's not fit for humans anymore, and certainly not fit for dogs. I'd say it's best left to wretched little things like rats and possums. Only God's least favorite creature should be subjected to so much mold.
The cell, the doll, Wayne's insinuation that Tabitha has known about all of this, and even more, that she has partaken willingly in your family's crimes. Not only that, but she has designs for you. Is it true? Your eyes dart back up to Stella. Her gaze is fixed on some non-existent point far off in the distance, and you can only try to imagine what she might be thinking. Maybe she feels you're connected in some impossible way to what you've just discovered. Like you carry whatever went on in there in your blood. And Tabitha who had lived under the same roof as that cell her entire life. This silence feels like a terrible thing. Like detritus clogging the air, suffocating the fragile growth of a barely formed relationship. There's a feeling that the longer you wait to say something, anything, the more your tentative relationship will unravel, second by second. So say something. Say anything. Just break this awful silence already. I don't think we can trust my cousin.
What? Is this because of what Wayne said? I wouldn't trust that creep to tell the truth about anything. Have you forgotten that he's been stalking you? And Tabby's not the kind of person to lock someone away in some sort of dungeon. I know her. She's not the sort of person who would keep something like that hidden from me.
I was always going to see what we saw today, but there's nothing forcing us to go to Tabitha. We don't have to see her.
Huh? Okay, I get it. But if we're not going to Tabitha, then what are we supposed to do? We have to do something.
Wayne said we should find the witch.
I don't know what you see in that creep. I don't even know who this witch would be. And it's not like he said where to start looking for her, right?
Stella has a point. You have no idea where to even begin finding this witch, or for that matter, who she, like Stella you assume the witch is a she, could possibly be. Let's think harder. There's a blurred place that comes to your mind when you think about this witch. Less of a place and more of a location, but less of a location and more of the idea of a location. A sort of almost location where you feel Like you know where it's meant to be, but where you couldn't for the life of you describe it, but you could follow that important feeling. Walk alongside that strange feeling. I can't explain it, but there's a feeling, like I know where to go. Trace the fraying threads of memory forgotten.
Okay.
Finally! I can't say I've enjoyed all this standing around. Not while my Stella seems so distraught.
You take Stella by the hand and rush down the road into town. Gretchen clutched tightly to her chest. You follow that blurry feeling, your attention drawn with a tunnel-like focus to the rhythmic falling of your feet. Your surroundings distant and unreadable, save for the warmth of Stella's hand, gripped tightly in your own. You lose sense of time as you go. But then the footfall stops, and you find yourself on Scarlet Hollow's main street, in front of an old bricked-up building that you don't recall ever seeing before. But this is it. You know it is.
Oh, is this what you were looking for?
We going into another old building? Oh, Stella loves those! This one doesn't smell as old as it looks, though. Might be disappointing.
I don't know. It doesn't look like there's anyone here. Those bricks are pretty sturdy. It wouldn't be easy getting in. Look, I don't know what you thought you were going to find, but clearly it's not here. We're out of options. Let's just go to Tabby. It's not going to be the end of the world. I promise, okay?
Hey.
Miles emerges from around the corner. The sight of him is at once familiar and unfamiliar. You know him. You've seen him around town at least once, but the rest is hard for you to remember. Blurry. Maybe you don't know him that well after all.
Oh, hi, Miles. What are you doing here?
Just looking for Sybil. What are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be chasing the Loch Ness Monster?
Casey wanted us to find a witch, for whatever reason. That witch was supposed to be around here. On Main Street. In broad daylight. That probably sounds a lot like we might as well have been looking for the Loch Ness Monster, doesn't it? Look, don't worry about it. We'll get out of your hair.
No. Witches are real. Casey, you know it. That's why you came down here, right? You know there's something wrong. I think I did something bad. It has to do with Sybil and somebody else. And that somebody feels really important. And I feel like if I don't remember before it's too late, somebody's gonna... Never mind. This was stupid. I just sound crazy.
Not crazy, but you and Casey are starting to scare me. Can somebody just tell me what's going on?
He doesn't sound crazy, though. You feel an odd sensation as he's talking. A creeping recognition. But you can't seem to hold on to it. A slippery thought that refuses to be fully recognized. No, you're not crazy. There's something wrong. And it has to do with your family. But you draw a blank on just who Miles's family is supposed to be.
But Casey, Miles's dad is...
I knew it. I knew something was wrong. But I don't know what it is. Nothing happened. I woke up and everything was normal. Had cereal, and then Sybil said she was going somewhere with somebody. No, wait. The person was there too. I talked to them. And then they left. And I went out to the street because the office is closed for renovations. So I had to wait outside until it was done.
It feels like he's recounting a dream. The memories slipping through his fingers as the words leave his lips, leaving only emotion.
That's how I felt when my dad died. But nobody's dead. Please, make it stop.
Have you talked to anyone else about this?
No. Everybody else lives here, and I don't need people looking at me funny the rest of my life.
Miles, I live here, and I'm not going to look at you funny. I promise.
I'm not talking to you about this. I'm trying to talk to Casey. Besides, it's okay if you think I'm crazy, because a lot of people think you're crazy.
Because of my videos?
Because of a lot of things. Whatever. I should have just kept my mouth shut. It's not like either of you know anything anyway.
There's somebody missing, isn't there? Miles tries to hide it, but you see his lower lip tremble. His eyes are shiny with fresh tears.
Yeah, I think so. I feel so guilty. I think it's my fault.
He can't hide the tremor in his voice as he speaks.
Casey, you should stop. I think you're just making things worse.
He tries to collect himself, wiping away his tears and choking back whatever remaining sobs he had left.
Look, I don't know about her, but you seem to get that something's, actually wrong here. None of this makes any sense. There's this guy on the edge of town, Julius. He's crazy, but I remember him coming around and asking questions. And he always had this notebook with him. I don't remember what he asked me, but he'll remember it. You gotta go talk to him. Or get him to show you his notebook. He probably knows more than anybody about what's going on. I didn't want to have to ask anybody to help me. But it's like I can't think straight. I need somebody to do this for me. I don't want to feel like this anymore. Not again. Please, not again.
Do what for you, Miles? I can't know how to help you if you don't tell me what this is all about. I'm lost.
Forget it. This is stupid.
Miles, wait.
But the young man turns and leaves before giving any further details.
Poor pup. Sounds to me like he's lost his sense. He's never gonna find his pack again. He mopes around here all day waiting for you to find them for him. Youth these days just can't solve their own problems, can they? Only Scraps has been elected. He would have whipped this town into shape. We wouldn't have pups without a pack, with him in charge of things.
Seriously, what the hell is going on around here? Why isn't anyone talking normally? It's like everybody's going insane. Unless I'm going insane.
But Stella's cut off by the singular whoop of a police siren.
Seriously? Now?
Well. Did you really think that everything you done around here we wouldn't catch up to you, Casey? You're not welcome here, you stoogey! You and your power-obsessed Jimmy can go straight to hell! That wretched siren's wail was too loud for my delicate ears. I'll get the tinnitus. Call off your dog, Mrs. Richmond. It's like you trained it to hate the uniform with how much it barks when it sees me coming. You should muzzle that thing if it's gonna keep acting out like this. Though I'm not exactly sure if a muzzle would works on something like that. That's none to speak of. Why, I never! To insult a lady's jawline!
Maybe she'd be nicer to you if you didn't bully her, officer. And what's going on? Is there a problem, or can we go?
Is there a problem, she asks. How about we start with the doctor's office? It was a real mess when I showed up today. But it's hard to tell exactly what happened when we've got no bodies left to identify.
Oh, no.
I just wish we'd been able to take you in after that mine collapse. I can't help but think we should have prevented this if we acted with our instincts sooner. Especially since you happen to be here when Duke died under mysterious circumstances. We'll be asking plenty of questions about that, too. Plus, you've been acting weird all week. These odd behaviors just so happen to coincide with things getting strange around town. Call it a hunch. So, Casey, you have the right to remain silent. I don't care who you are related to, justice will be served, and I will be getting to the bottom of things.
Okay, I get it. You think Casey's some sort of criminal mastermind. But I've been with her almost all week. So I guess you'll have to arrest me too, won't you, officer?
I know a patsy when I see one. The type of trouble this hooligan has brought into our peaceful little town is well beyond what you're capable of.
Hey, I'm not a patsy. I make my own decisions all the time. I'm always, breaking into places, doing all kinds of unlawful things.
Victimless crimes. And they help put Scarlet Hollow on the map. With your fans and all that. I'd never get in the way of bringing in tourists. But I hate to see an innocent girl get corrupted by an outside influence. Unlawful hellholes like New York. I just hope I'm not already too late to save you from falling into a life of crime.
Hey, that's not fair. Casey isn't... No, you're right. Thank you for saving me from a life of drugs and murder.
Don't mention it, ma'am. I'm just doing my job.
Casey, just stick tight. I'm gonna get help, okay?
You're not going to Tabitha, are you?
I don't think we have any other option. She's the only person I know who has any sway around here. It's her or you're stuck with the cops.
Did I hear that right? Do you think I'm some sort of puppet controlled by the town's only source of wealth? Call me old-fashioned, but having money in a fancy house doesn't make her cousin above the law.
Oh, then I guess you don't have a problem with me telling her all about this.
Be my guest. Despite what you might think, Tabitha Scarlet doesn't run this town.
And don't worry, the Scarlet Hollow cops have never hurt anyone. You're gonna be okay in the meantime. I promise.
With that, Stella leaves you alone with Officer Franklin.
Some friend, huh? Anyway, you have the right to remain silent.
She's not my friend, she's my girlfriend, man.
Okay, sure. Some girlfriend then.
If you're gonna waste taxpayer money, at least do it with a pizza party instead of trying to ruin my life.
We can always do both. Maybe me and the boys can celebrate getting you off the streets with a pie later tonight. And before you ask, no, you can't have any. Anyway, where was I? Right, anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law.
Deputy Franklin whips out a pair of handcuffs, tightening them quickly around your wrists, in a smooth police academy maneuver.
You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we ask you any questions. You have the right to have a lawyer with you during questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed before any questionings if you wish.
He escorts you towards his cop car, opening the back door as he continues reciting your Miranda rights.
If you decide to answer any questions now without a lawyer present, you have the right to stop answering at any time. There, now watch your head.
As you're shoved into the car, a voice crackles over the radio.
Franklin, pick up already. We ain't got all day, boy.
Apologies, Sheriff. I was apprehending Casey, as discussed at this morning's rendezvous.
Don't call it that. Don't call it that. Makes it sound like some kind of date at first friends. Wow, we. Don't call it that. Makes it sound like some kind of date at a French restaurant. It was our coffee meeting. But that's besides the point. We need you up at the farm's pronto. Got ourselves a possible 187 brewing.
10-4. Damn, this day keeps getting crazier. Suppose you'll have to come along for the ride, ma'am.
Deputy Franklin wastes no time in turning on the sirens, blasting down the road towards whatever emergency is underway with you in tow. This is possibly one of the few times he's ever been able to do this, and despite his sunglasses and stiff demeanor, there's definitely an excitement in the way he cruises around the treacherous mountain turns. As the car pulls up to the farms, you feel it again. A tingling at the back of your skull. An urgency. Almost like a hand pressing you gently forward, with the threat that it might become more forceful if you don't comply. Like so much crying. Crying that can only stop if you tend to it. There's another stone here, and it's refusing to let you ignore it. The feeling is strange when you try to examine it. Contradictory. Something that both desires to be alone, yet at the same time needs you in its presence. It's bringing something into this world, and it needs your help delivering it. Deputy Franklin gets out of the car, leaving you in the back as he joins the assembled crowd.
Alright, Sheriff, what's the situation?
Bo got tired of waiting. Oh, damn, I'm doing it.
Yep, Irma.
Bo got tired of waiting for y'all to come do your jobs, so he took it upon himself to go investigate the Tremaine household, and he ain't coming back out, and it's been hours.
Irma, I'll do the honors of briefing the officer on our current situation. You can go back to the house and let us handle it from here.
What y'all don't know about all his traps and whatnot? Duke is always saying not to go in there on account of the Tremaine insanity.
It's alright, ma'am. We're the police. Facing dangerous situations is our job.
The woman, who you take to be Beau's mom, reluctantly returns to the porch of her house, watching the other building intently as the officers talk amongst themselves.
Franklin, you're with me. We're headed on to get a handle on the situation. Derekson, You listening from the squad car. Hopefully we can settle this without you. But you're our backup if things go south, alright?
Yes, sir. Think there's any hope for the hostage? Been awfully quiet.
If you ask me, I don't suspect there is a hostage, not no more. We're more likely calling in a hearse once all this is settled.
With the tip of his hat, Huggby signals to Franklin, and the two of them make their way up the hill towards the old farmhouse.
Hey there, Casey. Sorry you had to come along for the ride. We'll have you back at the station soon enough. Sounds like this won't take long to settle. In the meantime, I'll keep you company.
The thing calling out to you is starting to lose its patience. You need to find a way out of here before it gets angry. You don't really think Beau is dead in there, do you?
I'd love to be wrong about this. I really would. It'd be a real shame considering what poor Irma's already been through this week. But Beau's a big man. Hard to keep a big man like that from moving around and making a fuss. And we've seen a whole lot of nothing going on in there. Still as the grave, if you pardon the expression.
Could you let me go, please? I haven't done anything wrong.
Oh, I'm sure you haven't. But that's why we're gonna bring you in to answer a few questions. See, we can prove as much. And if we see that you really aren't a threat to the town, then we'll let you go and that'll be that.
But what about innocent until proven guilty?
Is that how that goes? I'm joking. But of course, there's no way to know if you're innocent unless we ask you questions like you're guilty. Just basic police work.
You don't understand. I need to get into that house. The deputy sits in silence for a moment.
I don't even know how to respond to that. You get that someone probably just died in there, right?
There's a sound coming from the house on the hill. Shouting. Angry and panicked. A frantic voice crackles over the radio.
Derekson, come in! Sheriff's down! Those damn traps, Irma wasn't kidding!
Keep it together, Franklin. Is he breathing? And what is the status on Tremaine and Calloway?
Something in the basement. Going down now.
You hear an ungodly noise over the radio. A gunshot and then static.
Franklin, report.
But there's only silence.
Damn it, Franklin.
Deputy Derekson gets out of the car.
What in the...
Casey!
The bloodied man-thing rips the car door off its hinges before breaking your handcuffs. You're free, at least physically. But your newfound mobility has only made the pull of the stone carving even stronger. The only thought you have is that you need to keep going, to see the stone you know is somewhere nearby.
I'm sorry, did I scare you? I was just trying to come to your rescue. I thought maybe this was because of last night, then maybe they thought it was you.
It's happening again. The pull from one of those stones.
Oh, like in the morgue. I get it. You don't have much.
Reese's face erupts. The shot echoes out from across the fields, from the direction of the farmhouses, where you can make out Irma's half-muted cries.
Good Lord! I knew them things from the woods were gonna come for the people sooner or later! Deputy! Deputy, can you hear me?
He can't. You step over the man's headless body, ignoring Reese as he scampers back into the underbrush, clutching at what's left of his jaw. Just another distraction. The talking is just noise. Her words don't matter. There's a humming in your head, almost like a voice, one you can just barely make out. But you know it will be clearer the closer you get to the stone. You start wandering up towards the farmhouse at the top of the hill. You continue forward. You barely even notice your hand slipping over the doorknob. And now you're inside. Sheriff Huggby dangles in the middle of the room. An axe attached to some strange mechanism in the ceiling is embedded in his face, holding up his corpse in an imitation of life. Past the body, you can see a giant pumpkin through the door to the garage, cracked open, its guts strewn across the floor. Seeds dotted across the hardwood, like a trail of breadcrumbs leading to the basement stairs. There's nobody alive here, which means that there's nobody to stop you from going where you need to go. Approach the basement. You reach the basement door and start to claw at the weird fleshy vines blocking your way. They're strong, but they relent under your touch, welcoming you down below. Bard.
Who the hell?
You tried to undermine me, witch. I should have known you'd try to find a way around the rules.
You've trapped the town. This isn't what any of us wanted. You should nullify the deal before this gets any worse.
It's just unhappy. I didn't think something like this would be so opinionated. But I have a plan to placate it. If it wants a less broken body, it can have one. And we'll see if it still feels cheated enough to hold a grudge.
It's not too late, Enoch. You can let Eddie have the baby, and your family can go back to normal. Happy and unburdened. I'll clean everything up. It can be like nothing ever happened. I'll even leave town.
Manipulative hag! That's what you wanted all along, wasn't it? This whole ordeal was just an opportunity for you to have access to it. Well, I know better than to hand an ounce of power over to you, Verena. Our partnership has come to an end, witch. I'll be continuing on with my business, and you should be grateful that I let you continue on with yours.
One of these days, Enoch, someone will be strong enough to do what needs doing. I can wait. I can wait a long, long time.
Hey. You're not dead, are you?
Saw it all. My family. The witch.
Witch? Damn it, did Sybil send you? I knew it. Wasn't happy with how much she already fucked this up, huh? She's still got more bullshit left to pull to ruin my life even more. All that ends here. I'm getting what she promised me. Whatever she sent you for, I'll shoot you before you do it, so don't even try.
Hey now, nobody has to get shot. Nobody else, I mean. Sorry, Franklin.
What are you sorry for? You weren't the shooter, or the one who got shot.
Your vision finally focuses, and your mind is once again your own. Avery watches you furtively from across the room. The man, Julius, holds a gun in a silent threat. Franklin clutches at a nasty wound in his side, blood spilling out onto the dirt floor of the unfinished basement. And in the corner is Beau. Something is attached to him, the source of the awful noise. It stutters with pained inhalations. Beau is still breathing, but he doesn't look well. The stone brought you here and stuck you in the middle of another nightmare.
Let's bring Casey up to speed, Julius. She looks a little shell-shocked.
Where do I fucking begin? Alright. So, the witch. I caught her doing some shit she shouldn't have been doing, and she offered me a deal if I kept it to myself. Always wanted to raise a boy of my own. God never saw fit to give me the chance. She gave me the means to right that injustice. Only it, obviously, didn't go quite the way it was supposed to. Calloway's interfered, just like always. Made it so I had to hatch him earlier than he was ready, and he came out hungry. Too hungry for me to handle. He kept trying to get at me, so I had to hole up down here. Been stuck since fucking Wednesday night. Damn roots won't let me leave. And they've clogged up the drain, so I haven't been able to call that witch and get her to make things right. But I'm a man of preparedness. Figured I could wait it out until Beau here decided to trespass. Guess he lost a tussle with my boy, and the two of them wound up down here with me. And that about sums it up. I guess in the end it's only fair. Son for a son. And birth ain't ever pretty, is it? It's not like doing it the old-fashioned way is all sunshine and roses. Just hope he winds up looking more like a person when he's done cooking.
Give a shit about your story, Tremaine. None of that gives you a reason to shoot a cop.
Self-defense. Castle doctrine.
Alright, team. I have a bunch of explore options. Here's the fun part. If I explore them all, we game over. We have to ration our questions so that we do not game over. So, this will be fun. Avery.
I like that, Avery. I thought you were chill.
That's what I was going with! Avery, I thought you were chill. Why the hell are you helping this guy?
Hey, don't you go after the kid. You know the first thing about...
It's okay, Julius. I get why she's asking. I'm helping Julius because he needed help. He thought my plant expertise might come in handy with all these root things. So he called me. But so far I don't feel like my plant tricks haven't been that useful. There's no getting these roots out of Beau without causing serious damage. Especially now that the baby is freaked out. It's like he's clamping down harder.
You're doing what you can, kid. Never should have called you up here. You didn't have to see all this. Nobody did.
And why is Deputy Franklin shot?
All I did was walk in.
You can't just walk into a man's house and expect to have the run of the place. You were getting ready to pull out your gun. I was defending myself.
Do you know how to contact her? The witch?
course I fucking do. You think I'm some sort of idiot who makes a deal without some way to get out of it? Not my fault that things went to shit before I could call her up. Fact is, I tried, but the only means of contact I've got is that faucet over there. It's fed by the natural spring water. That's her preferred method of communication. Like her internet, I suppose. But as you can see, it is currently out of order. My boy's got this meat all in there. We won't be getting a drop out of it until he's calmed down.
You guys want to see what he's talking about? This is the spigot that is clogged with pumpkin sun meat.
You'll have your witch as soon as all this is settled down. So, don't do anything stupid. None of you.
The conversation is interrupted by Beau shifting uncomfortably as the creature lets out a guttural moan.
So what? Supposed to just wait until the Calloway kid dies?
That's exactly right. My kid gets born and we forget all this ever happened.
What do we want to learn about first? This is where I'm going to make you guys make choices. Beau and the baby, the witch, this whole situation. The baby, we have a vote for the baby. So, remember we did this with Dr. Kelly where we click a topic and then we get to learn more?
Chat says da baby.
Da baby. So these are the
baby?
questions we could ask regarding Beau and da baby. I think this one's polite. Does your son have a name?
I'm sorry.
You don't name a kid until after it's born. Even I know that. Bad luck if you do it early.
We can go back to the Beau and the baby. Dr. Kelly died last night. Even if Beau survives this, I don't think we can get him the help he needs on time.
She's dead? How?
Something happened. Blood everywhere. Saw it this morning.
That makes this even easier then. Calloway kid's dying no matter what.
Do we want to switch topics? Or we still want to ask about Beau and the baby?
Say let's look at the witch, at least. See what's up.
I got some witch-related questions.
Notebook.
Notebook? There was one about Notebook?
There.
This one. Miles said you had a notebook, that you asked him a lot of questions. He sent me to you to get help fixing something that's wrong with the world.
I don't go around showing my notebook to just anybody. For all I know, she sent you up here to test whether I'd be able to keep my mouth shut or not. But that's some extremely vague shit, anyway. What am I supposed to do with that? I don't know what's wrong with the world. I've been stuck in my basement for the past 2 days. What the hell do I know about what's going on out there? Can't even get in contact with the old crone because the tap's all clogged. Not that I didn't fucking try.
If it's Miles, did something happen to Sybil? You would ask her for help if she was okay. Maybe she's in trouble.
As if that hag would never get into any trouble she didn't mean to get into. Not that you'd be able to understand that, not with all the tea she pours down your throat, and the throats of damn near everybody in this town. She's just about got everyone convinced she's God's gift to the holler.
Beau squirms with discomfort. The baby seems to be digging deeper. So we can do something drastic at any time. But we can also continue exploring these topics. But as you can see, the baby is demanding what it needs.
I mean, I think it's time for something drastic.
Yeah?
Yes.
Do we want to cut this conversation short? I think all votes I've heard are to do something drastic. Yep, chat is saying I would stomp that thing until it was a little orange stain. Cool. Enough talking. Someone has to destroy this thing. It might as well be you. The waiting brings you to your limit, and then it brings you past it. You move quickly, diving across the small room, scooping up the shears on the floor as you zero in on Beau, and the thing slowly eating its way through him.
Hey, hey!
The shears come down on the thing, piercing its unnaturally soft chest. Beau's stolen blood pours out of its orifices in thick sludge. Beau gasps as if it's him you've stabbed. The thick veins under its skin expanding, writhing.
No! You'll pay for this!
You whirl around to see his gun trained on you, your heart freezing in a split second of utter terror. Franklin stumbles forward, trying to reach for his gun, but unable to stifle a cry of pain. Julius's attention is pulled away from you, towards the sorry sight of the cop trying desperately to wield his pistol.
Julius, we're not killing anybody. Give me the...
A gun goes off. You dive to the floor, panicked, your ears ringing uncomfortably. No more shots follow. You open your eyes, readjusting to the gloom.
Oh, shit. Oh, no, not you, kid!
Avery is gasping on the ground near Beau. Their patterned shirt is stained with their own blood.
God, what have I done? First the boy, now you.
He raises the gun to his head.
Nobody left to do better than this.
Julie, this...
But whatever Avery was about to say is silenced when Julius pulls the trigger. Once again, the world feels quiet in the aftermath of the gunshot. Julius's body slumps against the wall, limp and dead, a bullet hole smoldering at his temple.
Fucking riddance.
The room's attention is drawn to the sound of a horrific, inhuman gurgling, punctuating the groans of human agony. It would seem that you did not quite manage to finish the job.
Move it before it grabs him again. Casey, Beau, alive, can live. The baby can have me.
What are you asking me to do?
Move, baby, to me.
You don't know what it's like to be attached to it. It could be painful.
This is pretty painful already. Don't care. Please, hurry. Talk hard.
What do we do? Chat? Do we kill it? Or do we grant his dying wish? I see baby can have death, finish it off. Avery, I'm so sorry, but this thing has to fucking die. You strike at the creature's malformed flesh one last time, permanently removing it from the world. Its last connection to its womb has been severed, and the house groans unnaturally, straining as the meat that infiltrated its walls dies. The faucet in the corner of the room, finally unclogged, bursts to life, and water pours out onto the dirt floor, mixing with the fresh blood and tissue into a charnel house slurry. The vines blocking the door go slack.
Okay, kid. I've held out this long. You can't do.
Avery's quiet now. Words seem too strenuous.
Kid?
Your hands are wet. The water is spreading, pooling around you, making the floor slippery with mud.
Somebody help. Call doctor.
But Scarlet Hollow doesn't have a doctor anymore.
Hold on, Bo. We'll get your mama soon.
Your hands are wet. The water is spreading, pooling around you, making the floor slippery with mud. Let's get out of here fast, before it floods. It's up to your chest now. There's no denying it.
What are you talking about? There's no water.
But there is. He just can't see it. Because his words are swallowed by the flood. You feel like you're choking. There's water in your lungs, or there should be. Your ears are filled with the sound of a rushing current.
It's cold and dark, and there are people screaming somewhere. There are bodies in the water with you. They are all dead. 1,000 corpses, 1,000 homes, all torn to pieces. But the flood recedes. It hasn't happened yet. You are the mother of a daughter, and your daughter has told you about her terrible dream.
It's going to kill everyone!
You are not the one who had the vision. Not yet. It has only been described to you by the daughter you have been teaching, as your mother taught you.
You're the only one who can stop it, Mother. But you won't be strong enough.
Her words are heavy.
This one, Kyle.
How can you be sure? Maybe it's only a dream.
It's not a dream. You know I've seen things before, and they've always been true. Take my power, Mother. I give it willingly. It's the only path that leads to anything but death.
This one.
They would live, but you'd die.
It's not death, Mother. It's a return. And what's one life against 1,000?
Your daughter is confident. She has already decided this is what has to happen. Accept and take your daughter back. You accept your daughter's decision. She is not the child she once was, and there is a confidence in her that you have no choice but to respect. You take her back. Her power becomes yours. The flood does not come. The village is saved, and no one ever knows the sacrifice that was made for their lives. No one but you. Years have passed. You outlive everyone you used to know. You move on. You meet new people. You start a new life. You have another daughter. This time, the vision is yours. The piece of your first daughter that lives in you shows you what is coming. Rotting bodies in the streets. The smell of sickness on the wind, church bells ringing for an endless parade of funerals. An entire city whose gates will never reopen. Everyone inside the walls falling to the curse of plague. You are among their number, your body no longer strong enough to heal even itself. You are not enough to stop it. Not as you are. There is another path, a narrow thread. If you were stronger, you could tug at it and unravel the tapestry of the future.
Mother, what's wrong?
Your daughter will never be as strong as you are, not after what you had to do. But she still carries in her some strength. Enough. Explain it to her, as it was explained to you. You tell her what's coming. You explain what she has to give up. What you both have to give up. You love your daughter, after all. You will miss her, as you miss your first daughter. She is angry. Even when you try to explain that she will be a part of you, that she won't die, she cries and cries, and she tries to run away from you. Fate is attempting to cut its loose thread. The entire city rests on this decision. Stop her from leaving. You do not let your daughter run from you. No plague comes. The city never knows it would have been a ruin. But there is an unhappiness in you. She didn't understand. And what you took of her is angry, confused, restless. You will have to carry that with you. It is part of the burden of what you are. Though no one knows the depth of what you have done over the years, you have not escaped notice. You find yourself in a capital, in a place whose name has changed too many times to count. A war is brewing. The eyes of those who hold fate in their hands are on you, their lips asking which threads to pull and which to cut. And the tapestry is once again revealed to you. The war rages, and it never stops raging. Bleeding that spans generations, children born to die, decades of pain that leave a raw wound on the world. Or it ends before it begins. The few die for the sake of the many. You can guide powerful hands to crush those that need crushing, if only you have more power of your own. You call your daughter to you. You raise them differently these days. The disquiet left by the reluctant daughter taught you a permanent lesson. They don't need convincing anymore. They are ready to return to you whenever you need them. Let her be free and plunge the land into generations of war. You have a change of heart. It has to end sometime. You let her go. Hundreds of thousands suffer. Countless lives are cut short. Your daughter is among them. Even in her privileged place by your side, the war reaches her. And the both of you burn along with everyone else. You saved her for nothing. But, of course, that's not how it happened. Take her back and stop the war before it starts. This daughter joins her sisters easily, as she has been trained to do. You are the only one who will remember her sacrifice and her name. A small rebellion is crushed before it becomes a revolution. The people in power are happy. You leave. You don't want to see any more visions of war. You set your sight on a place where there are no kings. Yet, even an ocean away, power finds you. A man with aspirations. Anyone can hold power here, you have discovered, if they're vicious enough to want it. The hunger in him senses the power in you, and for a time, you humor him. You allow him to give you a life of comfort. You and your daughter. You don't see a future where he ever grows more powerful than you can manage. Not until the vision comes. A war like none the world has witnessed. A fledgling nation devoured in the nest. A man who sits on a throne where none was meant to be. The world under his cruel fist bowing to its crushing weight. The very ocean stained red by his influence. He's already on his way. You realize too late. You have been too close to him to see it. Your choices have already narrowed. The war is coming, whether you strike now or not. The loose thread sticking out from a mass of blood, with you too weak to grasp it. But you have a daughter. You always have a daughter, until you don't. Take her back, and erase the man before his name can mean anything. She joins her sisters, as is her destiny, and you remove him from the world. The hole where he was is filled by lesser men, none of whom remember whose shoes they're stepping into, and none of whom can hope to command the way he would have. Blood is spilled. Less blood, but you still feel every drop. You hide yourself away from the world. You and your daughter. The visions still find you, but here they are small, the decisions simple. You make them all the same, helping where you can. A storm halted, a conflict settled. Until one day, when you are shown a dark pit. Splintering wood, debris trapping everyone inside, bodies burning as the very rock catches fire, children screaming as their flesh bubbles, then silence as lungs fill with smoke. You know the choice that lies in front of you. Take her back. She joins her sisters, as so many have before her. The disaster is averted. Lives are saved. And you have another daughter. But that's not what happened. Not this time. You take your daughter's hand, and you look her in the eyes. They're green, like yours. You don't want to do it this time. You stare out over the hills together as a plume of smoke rises into the air. But you can't hear the screams from here. You assume you will die one day, like anyone else. After all, you're long past due. Maybe you'll be lucky enough to know your grandchildren before you go. Then the man comes, and with him, a vision. He has already decided. He is bringing something here. Something ravenous that doesn't belong, but has been pressing at the edges of your world, trying to find a way in. It has its way now, whether you help him or not. More of the thread you followed comes into focus, and for the first time, you follow it beyond your death. Disaster after disaster, crisis after crisis, thousands of years of little cuts that you weren't there to mend. On and on it goes, longer than you can ever hope to follow. Its toll eternal and incalculable. But there is a new thread, too. If you are patient enough, if you are strong enough when the moment finally comes, if you do everything right, you can devour this thing that sits outside the world. And it will give you so much power that you will never have to take back a daughter again. You could fix as many things as you'd care to fix. Floods, plagues, wars, kings. You look into her green eyes, so much like yours. You can't. But you did. Take her back and summon the entity into the world. You welcome her back, as you have with every daughter before her. And you help the man. He is arrogant. He cheats the thing from another world in every way he can. He wastes your time. There will have to be more daughters before the day comes that this will be over. But days and daughters come and go, and you are very patient. You have to be. If you're to stop the hurt that would scar a world without you, there to guide it. And now you are here, on the cusp of the end, the final daughter.
Casey, what are you doing here? Are you real? No, it doesn't matter. I don't care if you're a dream or not. Well, I'm glad I got the chance to see you again before I go away. And before you say anything, I've already made my decision. So don't bother trying to talk me out of it.
What decision?
Did you not just go through that whole life story thing? Was that just me? Look, I'm gonna do what I was born to do. I'm gonna save lives, Casey. More than most people could in a lifetime.
Everyone out there forgot about you, Kanika. It was like you didn't exist.
That's okay. It's a part of all of this. I'm surprised you were able to remember. You really do care about me, don't you? That's such a sweet thought. But it's okay if you forget, too. Once it's all said and done, I don't need to be remembered.
What exactly are you trying to prevent? Do you even know?
That thing that Enoch brought, whatever it is, breaking out and causing havoc, and all those disasters my mom would be able to stop, she takes its power for herself. I'm so much smaller than all of that. But in this moment, I can be what stops it. I can be big enough. My life can be meaningful.
I saw your brother today. He didn't understand what was happening, but he was so upset about it. He's most of the reason I even found you.
Miles? But he doesn't even like me that much. He always thought I was bossy and annoying. He was upset? Must just be because he doesn't remember how much he hates me. If he did, he wouldn't feel that way.
Do you really feel like you have to sacrifice yourself for your life to have meaning?
Working at a shitty little general store in a dying town? Yes, I would call that pretty meaningless. And I think you and I both know I wasn't going anywhere in life. Sure, I told myself I'd be getting back to school, but it's not like I was working hard to get out of there. Or I would have just sold the store by now. But I didn't. Because some part of me knew I had to be here. Now I know why.
You know, I don't think I've ever seen you without glasses before.
Huh?
Of course. I should have known better to think I could hide from you, Casey. I wasn't trying to trick you for what it's worth. Though I'm sure that doesn't sound very truthful. Please try to trust that this is all in your best interests. I'd hoped it would be all over before you could find me. I know it can be unpleasant to watch. I'd hoped to spare you, even if I knew in my heart that all the worthwhile roads for you to walk would bring you here right before I could finish my work. But you know this has to be done. To save you
To save Tabitha. To save everyone in town. Haven't they all been stuck long enough? Kanika can't save them on her own. But I can. I wish this wasn't how it has to be. But it's the only way your story gets a happy ending.
There is no illusion masking her words, no trickery. She is speaking her truth. But perhaps there remains a narrow path for you to walk. Speak the name that was carved into the cell wall. Of course, the scratching on the walls. This was what it was for.
Casey, no. You don't know what you're...
You don't have to know how to speak it. The thought of it brings the sound to your lips. The name forcing its way out, yearning to be free from your mind and used as the dagger it is. The dagger tears into her. Everything that is not her pours out of the delicate tapestry of her existence. The parts she arranged so neatly scattering, their voices filling the dream around you. Confusion as her careful order is upended. A single dangling thread comes into focus.
Casey, wait. You can't see how this will benefit you because you don't understand the danger you're in. Your enemies have made sure you can't, not until it's too late. I am the only one who wants to see you walk free. But I understand why you wouldn't trust me. Of course I do. I've had to weave my own little lies as part of this ridiculous game. Please know that I'm not lying now. But even if you don't believe a word I've said about your own safety, I'll give you something else, too. Something you need. It's not fair, what Charlie did to you. It had to be done, of course. He couldn't stay where he was. But I can take away that burden. I can give you back your youth. Your health. I only need to finish what I started.
Pull the fucking thread. You ignore her offer. You grab the thread and pull. The delicate tapestry is unwoven, the witch's careful work torn open. If only momentarily, as her daughter's hands are finally unbound enough to grasp for their mother. Their cries are a song, calling out as they drag her down into the depths of their mass, craving her warmth, her attention, her love, as it has been so long since she held them. The tapestry weaves itself shut around her. The cries grow quiet, sated. The witch is gone. Kanika catches her breath in the space once occupied by her sisters. Now she stands alone. Though she isn't really alone. Not anymore. And she never will be. She wears the weave of all those generations of power. Someone has to.
What did you do to me?
Was that really you earlier? Or was that her talking through you?
No, that was me. I said those things, and I meant them. I really, really believed it. I still do.
I think I gave you her power.
but I don't know how to use it. She never taught me anything or told me anything. Magic wasn't supposed to be real. Will I have to do what she was going to do? How do I even know what that is? How do I save the town if I don't even know what's wrong with it? God, this is so much pressure. I never asked for this. I don't think I can handle it.
But you know what's wrong with it. People are stuck here, so let's free them.
You're right. I care about these people. I can do this for them. Or at least try.
She takes a deep breath, collecting herself.
I can figure out how later, one step at a time. First step, figure out how to get out of here. Everything feels so different now. It was like some weird dream before, but now it's like I can see how it's all put together. So if I just...
You don't see whatever it is she was doing. The world around you goes dark. You're moving, like a current is carrying you somewhere, buoying you upwards, your body ascending rapidly until finally you surface. You're outside. It's raining. You have no idea where you are.
Tulip! Jenny!
This is the end of episode 5. Only one major content update remains until the story reaches its conclusion in the final chapters. Ladies, gentlemen, not applicable, thank you so much for joining us in the conclusion of Chapter 5 of Scarlet Hollow. I am so excited to see the final chapters come out. Black Tabby, we cannot wait to see this content. Thank you so much to my incredible actors for their show-stopping performances tonight. We love you all, and we will see you next week with something new. Bye!